'80s, there was the Riccobene-Scarfo War. At the time, Harry Riccobene was 74 years old, a little teeny guy, and he became locked in a power struggle with Nicky Scarfo. Not a mentally well-balanced guy, Nicky Scarfo, and for control over the mob. The whole thing started with Angelo Bruno, who had been a long, well-standing don of the Philadelphia mob, told New York that they couldn't have a piece of what was going on in Atlantic City. New York being the Genoveses and the Gambinos, he said, it's ours, our state, it should be our rackets. If you're too young to know, if you've never been there, I remember in the 70s, Atlantic City was scary. It was a place you avoided, really. There was nothing there. It was the beach, I guess. It was a nice boardwalk, but it was a horrible place. Anyway. Then this governor, Irish guy, Brendan something or other, had been a Marine war hero, pushed through gambling, and Donald Trump moved in. And that governor later went to jail, by the way, for taking bribes or something. Trump moved in, put in Trump Plaza, all these other places follow. The place starts booming, but I got to tell you, I was there in 81, 82. It was still, I wouldn't go back. Maybe now it's nicer. I don't know. It's probably more developed or something. But anyway, New York wants a piece of this thing because it's exploding. People are going to the casinos, and you could run all kinds of rackets on the side, but they said no. So they kill Angelo Bruno, right? And then his successor, a guy named Chicken Mantesta, he says to New York, he stands up to New York. He doesn't want them taking over. In 1981, they kill him with a remote-controlled bomb placed under his porch. That's inventive for organized crime. I mean, they don't do that a lot, but when they do it well. And then leadership fell to little Nicky Scarfo, who made a deal with New York. He said, look, we'll work it out. I don't know. Let's see what we can come up with. So it was a smart thing to do. But Riccobene was his problem. Riccobene kind of sort of half-hearted believed that New York shouldn't have a hand in their state. And then he wanted to be boss. He's not going to kick up any of his money to Scarfo. So this is not good. So the war starts when Riccobene's men took out one of Scarfo's capos, Frank Monti, who was doing everything he can to piss off Riccobene. Monti was the number 3 man under Scarfo. They got him with 6 bullets. Listen to this, from a telescope-equipped rifle at a range of 100 feet. Well, that seems pretty good shooting to me. I don't know. What happened was Monti sat down with Scarfo. They said, look, go in there and knock off all of Riccobene's income. Close down his gambling things, his loan sharking business. Then he'll fall into line. It didn't really happen that way. So then Monti goes to Riccobene's half-brother, Mario, and he says, if you help me set up your brother, we'll kill him, and you can take his rackets. How's that? I don't know what this guy was thinking, but Mario goes to Harry and tells him. So Riccobene strikes first. However, before that, on June 8, 1982, Riccobene's in a phone booth, and he's calling somebody, and there was a drive-by, they missed. Then July 31, 1982, Riccobene, 2 of his guys, they see this guy, Salvi Testa. He was a Chicken Man's son, but he was Scarfo's street commander. He was a little crazy and scary. People were terrified of this guy. He's sitting on a crate in South Philly outside a pizza shop, and he's eating a bucket of clams, fried clams, I suppose. So a shotgun blast, it knocks him off of the crate he was sitting on. It almost severs his arm. He's in critical condition. He survives. He was later killed by Scarfo. We'll do a separate tape about that. But it justifies my point about Scarfo. He was bloodthirsty. He was just... So Harry Riccobene survives another assassination attempt on August 21, 1982, while he's sitting in a car in South Philadelphia. Why in the hell you just didn't stay out of South Philadelphia? So Scarfo is furious. He can't understand why they can't kill Riccobene. So he had given the order to kill Riccobene to his guy, Pat Spirito. And Spirito screwed it up, as you can see, one after the other. So Scarfo solves that problem by having
to
him
the position of boss of Philadelphia, and thus began Riccobene.
One of his killers said, Spirito was not cut out for the Scarfo mob. He had come out of Trenton, moved into South Philly at a time when mob members were low-key operators. They concentrated on gambling, loan sharking, bookmaking. He was greedy. He was ambitious. Those were attributes that Scarfo would appreciate, but he lacked any killer instinct. He thought he could slide by, generating enough money to keep the little guy down the shore, Scarfo, happy. But he underestimated Scarfo's bloodthirst. Spirito was a moneymaker, but he was also a whiner and a complainer. After we killed him, everybody was happy. Everybody hated that guy. I never seen a guy so hated so much. Wow. So on November 3rd, 1983, Scarfo's gunman followed one of Riccobene's guys, Sammy Tamburino, into a variety store that was in the ground level of his home. His mother was down there with him. They walked in behind him, shot him to death. And on December 6th, 1983, so we're going into a year now, two crews that belonged to Scarfo were tracking Bobby Riccobene all day long. Harry's brother, and he's Harry's right-hand man. And they gunned him down just outside his mother's house with a sawed-off shotgun. Just incredible. The mother tried to fight him off, and it was a sad scene. So, talking about sad, another sad note here is that Mario had a 27-year-old son, only 27, Enrico. He had no real connection to what was going on. He was borderline bad guy. He had a job and everything else. He was working at a jewelry store that he owned on December 14th, 1983, and somebody came in and said, hey, listen, Testa, Philly, and Eddie, Lawrence Marino, they're outside in cars. They're waiting for you to come out. They're going to kill you. So he reached on the counter, he took a gun, put it to his temple, and pulled the trigger. He was terrified. So Testa, punk says, now we can kill guys without bullets. They use their own guns. That's how afraid of us they are. Mario Riccobene he's understandably despondent. He's lost a brother, he's lost his son. The cops come around, they arrest him, and he pleads guilty to third-degree murder. That is for the murder of Frank Monte. And to make things go easier, he agrees to become a government witness. And he rats out everybody, including Harry Riccobene, including his brother. The cops also had two of Riccobene's gunmen, Victor DeLuca and Joe Padula, who were behind most of the murders coming from Riccobene's side. So Riccobene didn't stand a chance. He was arrested for murder, convicted, sent to life in prison, and he died in prison in 2000 of natural causes.
Ah, you're in big trouble, Boppo. We told you to take a dive in the third round, and you just kept popping back up. Let him have it, boys.
He's pretty tough, boss.
I'll handle this. Whoa, Boppo, take it easy there, pal. We were just playing with you.
Yeah, we didn't mean no harm.
Boppo, we've got the place completely surrounded. We all know how it's going to end. Come out with your hands up, lad.